Have I ever told you the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Dun 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 dun. I think that was just different enough that I could get away with it. Hi, welcome to Live from My Watch, a podcast recorded on a smartwatch. I'm your host, StonerSteve. And today we're reviewing the Star Wars films. That's right. You've been asking for it. My official ranking, the official list on today's episode. So stick around, you don't want to miss it. Cue the theme song. And then it was silent for like 5 minutes. That would have been hilarious. I need to come up with, or if someone could come up with an idea, because I can't think of one. Something, I need like a, one of those little like, microphone guards for my watch mic, so that I can like hit those S sounds without it like being weird. Anyways, technical talk, right? But hey, if you want to start a podcast with your wristwatch, do it, man. Tag me, and I will like give you a shout out. It's kind of fun. You know, you got it with you everywhere. Why not use it? And honestly, the quality could be better than this. I'm just going for kind of like a mumblecore thing right now. I'm trying to see if like this thing works as like a sleep aid. Like, let me know what you think. And my water is empty, so I've got to go refill that. While I get my water, let's send us over to a word from our sponsors. You know, I would love to talk about how time collapses when you're playing a game or reading a book or listening to a really good record. Anything that you enjoy. That first sip of coffee in the morning, first puff of the pipe, a bite of hamburger. Could be a vegan burger, whatever you prefer. I'm like the Swedish chef now. You want a vegan burger? You want a hamburger? Alright, so Hamburglar needs to have their day in the sun. Am I right? Grimace had their day. Now it is full on time for the Hamburglar to come in and be like, good Lord. Them billionaires in their helicopters flying at all times of the night. Sorry, I went straight up back to my roots there for a minute. Starships flying by. Reminds me of my childhood. Gosh. We're in a vacant galaxy. Newly created. It's being shopped around. Investors purchasing parts of it and developing it. It'll be full of life one day. Right now it's kind of just a space, like a blue oval, and inky blackness of space, the infinite wonder, hope, new life. Anything is possible in space. Maybe that's what George Lucas was thinking when he created the greatest sci-fi story of all time. And I know that's bonkers, and it totally is. But somebody has to get attributed for creation, yeah? In human society, somebody gets the praise, somebody gets the blame. I mean, the story is kind of brilliant for its simplicity. It's a fairy tale. Luke is a prince, Leia is a princess trapped in the castle by the evil king, emperor, wizard, whatever you want to call, Darth Vader, the bad guy, the ultimate evil in the universe. The producer said not to do that voice anymore. It's scaring the children. Well, the children shouldn't be listening to this podcast, so fair enough. Hey, to all my listeners on podcastland.tv, hello. And to all my other listeners, I love you just the same. So Star Wars is a team effort, which is why it has evolved so naturally into the expanded universe and franchise that it is, because it was always a team effort. Bringing together the right cinematographer and the right props team, with the right budget. The right budget meets the right amount of creativity, and it's great. Too much budget, not enough creativity, usually it's a flop, in my opinion. Just trying to get the consensus of a Rotten Tomato. We're looking at gosh, I don't even know if I want to name anything, because every movie is somebody's favorite movie, and that is perfectly fair, because I have some movies that I know are arguably bad, but I love them. I really do. I think the movie The Queen with Helen Mirren is a masterpiece of sort of hammy performance and cliched storytelling, but I just love it so much because it comes together so perfectly for me into this just comfortable, cozy. The King's Speech is kind of the same thing, The Queen, though, it's inexcusable that they used actual footage from like the Diana chase, because it wasn't a documentary. There is no place for that. Rest in peace, Diana. But other than that, it's great. And the actual footage of the funeral, I kind of appreciated because I didn't remember ever seeing it. And it, like, the crowds were huge. It's insane. Well, I mean, like, it's large crowds, and it's a larger amount of people than you expect to see. We're going to take a break from Film Corner to bring you this message from our sponsors. Today's episode is brought to you in part by the flowers that grow on my porch. The Flowers That Grow on My Porch is a subscription service that sends you a clipping of a flower in an envelope every month that I take from my garden. This is actually kind of a good idea. The flower will be wilted, so this is more of a dried flower sort of situation. A dried flower from my garden, a sun-dried flower from my garden. It will dry out as it goes through the postal service. I'll make sure to send it extra slow. The best part is it'll stain the envelope, so the envelope will actually be decorated by the time it gets to the customer. I might actually do this. Comment below if you'd be interested in a sun-dried flower from my garden. And now, back to the show. Oh, great, I didn't have to do any reads begging you for money. Adoy. I never even watched The Simpsons. I just have heard other people quote that, so, I put it in meme culture, consume, digest, create memes. This is Live from My Watch, a podcast recorded on a smartwatch. I'm your host, StonerSteve. And we're just about out of time, but I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know I really did. Our conversation about Star Wars was complete, and I don't think I'll ever have to bring it up again. Until next time, bye. That was definitely not changed enough. This might get flagged on YouTube.